Hello and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, and today we're going to have an adventure. It is just a couple of hours before supper time, and we are going to try something brand new that we never have tried before. But let me tell you how this is kind of meshed with what we are doing. We have talked a lot about our level 1 food storage and how the challenge that we have issued to everyone, including ourselves, is for level 1 to have 60 days worth of meals integrated within your freezer, your refrigerator, and your pantry. And we have really been living that way for, well, over a year, and it has worked quite well. I mean, we don't eat with our food storage every single day. We had steaks at a restaurant the other night celebrating my daughter's singing in the Messiah in the local city, and so that was a fun thing. But we do a lot taking foods from our level 1 for our meals. So this would work really well with level 1. You may remember last week we presented a video on smoking a corned beef brisket on our pellet grill, which is our Traeger. And Jim did a phenomenal job with that. It was absolutely delicious. And I mentioned in the video that we wanted leftovers. Well, yes, we did, because the leftovers are what we're going to be doing today. And I think that is exactly what we would be doing if we, for circumstances beyond our control, had to be relegated to preparing our meals off-grid most of the time. And so yesterday, I baked a loaf of rye bread, and this is just right from our bread book on page 37. If you have the bread book, you have this recipe, and it's a wonderful rye bread recipe. And we are going to make some Reuben sandwiches with the leftover corned beef brisket that Jim has sliced as thinly as he could with the leftovers. And I'm not sure if we'll use all of these leftovers, but we are using a recipe from Food Network. And I'm going to put the link to this recipe below the video description so that you will have it as well. And we are going to cook it off grid. We're going to wrap it in foil after we make the sandwiches, and we're going to cook it on our little Weber tabletop grill. That I don't think we've used that in a video yet. We did show it when I was showing the versatility of fire pits, and we introduced that as one. Today we're actually going to cook on that using indirect heat, and when we get out there, Jim will explain to you. Meanwhile, I'm not sure how many sandwiches this is going to make, but we are going to cut this. I'm going to cut the heel off and set it aside. Don't worry, it will not go to waste. Then I am going to be cutting the bread about 3/4 of the way. So those 2 slices will be one sandwich. So we'll open this up and put stuff on the inside, and then this slice and this slice will be another sandwich. And so I just have to make enough cuts so that we have even. So that's 4. I'm going to cut 2 more. And that's it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So that's 7 sandwiches. Okay, so now we have our bread, and I'm going to use this sauce. Now, you could substitute just a Thousand Island dressing if you wish, but the recipe for the sauce just looked so good. I'll read you the ingredients. We put together some mayo, ketchup, sweet relish, lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, and horseradish in this sauce, and it is wonderful. So you could probably get the recipe just for that sauce. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to put the foil down so that it will catch any drips and I don't have to do the manipulating.
Sure that's big enough?
I'm not sure.
I didn't think so either.
Okay, we'll see. I want to start it about right there. Okay. So we're going to just put a bunch of the sauce in here. trying to get both sides of the sandwich here. And then that's one sandwich. So now we're going to open this opening. And, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I got off.
That's okay.
Okay, so here's one. Here's one. I got off right here. Here's one. Here's one. Yep, I got off right there. Well,
We'll just have to work around
we'll
it.
figure it out. Okay. So now, next I'm going to put the corned beef in. Put as much as I can in these. We don't want to skimp on the cornbread.
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Okay, and then I'm going to put about a tablespoon of sauerkraut and a slice of Swiss cheese. Okay. And I'm going to prop that closed with the bowl. Then I'm going to come here, and our last one is right here. Okay.
You may want to turn that.
So I am going to take this last piece off because it is a non-starter. Okay, that one is up, and that one is up. Okay, so here is our foil wrapped loaf of Reuben sandwiches that we are going to cook over the grill in indirect heat. So we will meet you out at the grill, and Jim is going to show you how he has that set up out there.
All right. We're ready to go. The coals are pretty much charred over a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use indirect heat. Once I put the charred coals, and they're about 50 in here, 25 and 25, I'm going to put the grill on, or the rack on, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the
sandwich loaf?
Sandwich loaf, yes, in between, so it doesn't have direct heat.
Okay, so indirect heat is between the heat
Between
sources,
the heat,
not
yeah.
over the direct coals.
Right. 20. Okay, that's 25, and the other 25 will go right here.
Some little stragglers there.
I've got to put this on.
There's one more down there. Do you see it?
Is there? Oh, no, I didn't see it. Thank you.
Okay, we don't want to start a fire
Yeah, really.
in the leaves.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rack down this way. And then the sandwiches in between. Again, this is indirect heat versus direct heat. Direct heat would be actually right over the top of the charcoal. Put this on, have a bit for air movement, and with that, go ahead and wrap it up. So we're looking at what, 45 minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back.
So what the idea is to toast the bread and melt the cheese. So we'll see if we can get that to happen. We'll probably come out and turn it so that it doesn't burn.
Sounds like a good idea. We can do that.
Okay. We'll
Couple
see
hours or so.
Maybe 20 minutes or so. Okay, we'll be back soon.
Take care. We'll see you later.
Okay, we're out here checking. It's half done.
Is it working?
Well, it's warm. Can you flip the sandwich over?
Sure.
I can hold that with my other hand. Okay. Okay. Now let me feel that half. Well, I can certainly touch it. We can leave it. It's not in danger of any burning, that's for sure. I wonder if we should
move the baskets together.
Move the baskets closer
Sounds
and put it over
good to
more
me.
direct heat. Okay. Okay. Yep, let's try that.
No, it's not gonna. Okay, let's see what happens.
Okay. You've got it top side down there, and that's just fine. Okay. All right, we'll be back. So Jim brought the sandwich in. Here it is. I'm going to hold it way close so you can see the cheese has melted. But you will notice that we've already each cut a sandwich off. We did about a 4-minute video and then discovered that the sound wasn't on. And so we're just going to kind of recreate our conversation as we talked about this sandwich. So the cheese is melty, everything was nice and warm, but the bread was not toasted. And do you prefer toasted bread with your Reuben
Kind of
sandwich?
depends. Yeah.
At least warm.
Yeah, warm at least.
Yeah, my sandwich was warm and I'm almost done with it. You had to put yours in the
I
microwave.
put mine in the microwave.
To warm it up just a
Yeah.
little bit more. So what do we think we need to do next time to make it turn out more like the recipe said, was the bread toasted and the cheese melted?
Leave it in whatever it is.
In the grill?
In the grill.
Leave it
longer.
in the grill longer, okay.
Use more charcoal.
Okay.
Use more direct heat.
Okay.
And I've got to turn the little valve on the top that allows air to come in, close it completely.
Okay, so the heat
So
is
the
trapped.
heat is trapped, yeah.
Well, and I also think it just really depends on what kind of a grill you would use. So that little Weber, we haven't used it a whole lot.
No.
We know a little bit about it. But those little baskets that you separated to create the indirect channel to put it, I think that would have worked. I mean, we could have even put the loaf right down there between the two instead of up on the rack.
And that's a possibility.
So that's one thing we could have done. Also, I like your suggestion of using more charcoal.
Yeah.
But in any case, the sandwiches themselves are really good.
Very good.
You liked yours?
Yeah, I like mine.
Okay, and it was nice that it was, when we were preparing, when you were cutting the corned beef, you kept saying, we should probably heat this up a little bit, so it would cut better.
Cut better.
And we both snagged a few little
Yeah.
bites, but it really is a lot better heated in the sandwiches. Mine was just wonderful.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was totally an experiment, and so we hope that, and we're very pleased with it. We still have 4 more sandwiches here that we'll be having over the next couple of days. And if you try this recipe, and remember the link will be in the description, below the description of the video. If you try it, will you post what your outcome was? And that would help all of us. So next time we're going to use higher heat, longer time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And maybe a different cooking method.
Oh, maybe so.
Maybe we might go out on the
On the fire pit.
fire pit.
Yeah, we could do it on the fire pit.
Yeah, we
That's a
could,
good
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And we could even use the top of the Weber grill as a dome over them.
We could do that.
With the charcoal underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim, I think that's a great idea. We'll have to try that next time.
Yeah.
So thank you for being with us, and we'll see you very soon for more videos.
Take care.